ready. Okay, here we go. It's on. Oh, I forgot I have my little light.
We got our little lights.
Woo
Oh, cute. Oh, shoot. I forgot how to use
It's up top.
I'm done. Thank you, Amy.
You're welcome, Whitney.
By the way, welcome to On the Hunt.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
We have book lights.
We do. We're so professional.
We're like news anchors right
We
now.
are, with our arms crossed very seriously.
We're so awkward already. Welcome, everyone. How's it going out there?
Yeah, hopefully great. You survived Thanksgiving, Black Friday, all that
Cyber
good
Monday.
stuff. Cyber Monday.
Woo!
12 days of still keeps coming from Amazon Prime. It's like, just let it go.
Let it go, Amazon.
Yeah.
It's over.
We're done.
All right.
Yeah.
What's new with you?
Today happens to be the Tuesday right after Cyber Monday.
Oh,
so
yes.
we made a little donation to Wikipedia for
Yes.
Giving Tuesday to say thank you for existing because
Yes.
as I don't know about your story this evening, but mine certainly
Relied on it.
relied on it heavily.
bit. Well, and
this new?
basically we gave our profits from our Bathsheba trifling.
Yeah,
We gave it right back.
that's right.
Because that's what we do. We
Because
give
we're
back.
not selfish.
No.
Yeah, and our Bathsheba trifling shirts are
Off the
amazing.
It was honestly like a dream come true.
Yes.
Our logo's on them.
If you're in our book club, you better be listening to this. And it comes out on the same day that we're all going to brunch.
And we will be wearing
And we
our
will be
shirts.
wearing our shirts. And there will be bottomless mimosas.
We will be
So we
drunk.
might be running around the restaurant telling everyone to listen to our podcast,
Yes,
showing
we
off
will.
our shirts.
Yes,
you
we
just
will.
never know.
You never know.
Let's see. Anything else now?
No other.
I hope you liked my little purchases from Small
were
Business
very
Saturday.
cute. Great,
but
creepy, actually.
of course, in true Keaton fashion, she's like, "Mom, you know those are haunted. They're gonna kill us." Well,
Yes.
then the next night, I had a dream that there was something in them, and they tried to possess my daughter.
Great.
So I'm like, well, if I have this dream a second night in a row, maybe I better get rid of them.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
Okay.
So
I need to know because
so
Keaton's
far,
watching
so
my
good.
children on Friday
Yeah.
or Saturday. So if she's possessed, I need to know ahead of time.
Well, I mean, that may be just what you need.
I
You
mean,
never know.
maybe.
You'll come home and you'll be like, these are the most well-behaved children.
Holy
I know.
moly. Something actually creepy did happen. So my story, when I get to it, I mean, I'm reading this book and my story tonight is from a chapter of it and it's creeping me out really bad. And so it's just like when I read or really didn't read The Demonologist by Ed Lorraine. I read half of it because it was so scary I had to stop.
So it's that. Ooh, I might have to read this when you're done.
It's really good. So fun fact, everyone, my child, my 3.5-year-old doesn't like to sleep at night. So she often gets out of bed and comes in her room and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, Kyle told me the other night that he was up and down with her. And I was sleeping. He's such a good husband. It was anyway. And he went and laid in the living room to make sure she didn't come out of her room again. And he said he was laying there and he heard something run. Like our living room's in the middle of Amy knows, but I'm just telling everyone else. Living room's in the middle of our house, and then our bedroom's on one end, and the kids' bedroom's on the other end. He heard something run across our house, and he thought it was her. And it wasn't.
Ew.
I know. So I was like, is this book bringing into my house right now? So
Yeah. Very
no,
weird.
I don't think it is. Or
Yeah,
Kyle
I don't
just
think so either.
imagined.
But I had a game plan for my puppet. That puppet's amazing. And that's like the box it came in. It's called like this something punch something.
That's
puppet.
great.
And then the doll, she's super duper old and she's porcelain, but when you tip her back, her eyes still close and open back up. So that
That's
was
so
pretty
cool.
incredible. But yeah, I was like, if I have this dream again, I'm going to tie them up in a Walmart bag and take them to the gas station and throw them in that trash can. far from my home.
But you're going to say, I'm going to tie them,
Yeah.
I'm going to ignite them.
Oh, no. I've seen Annabelle. I'm not throwing it in my own dumpster.
No,
So
no,
not happening.
Nope.
Let's see. Anything else?
I can't think of anything else.
No. Oh, I did start listening to a new podcast. I'm only a
Okay.
couple episodes in. It's called...
Oh.
Hang on. Crap! Man, I it's just, I know what it is, too.
It's all right.
Epstein, Devil in the Darkness.
Oh,
So
is it
it's
about his alleged suicide?
Yeah, it is. Well, I'm only a couple episodes in, but no, it's like starting back when he was in high school. And it's like, I already knew he was
know a lot about
creepy. I mean, it doesn't like focus a lot on his high school, but like interviews people that went to high school with him and stuff. And then it kind of talks about, you know, how he started his career. He dropped out of college. He didn't even have a college education.
Huh.
But anyways, I think everyone already knows he was a real ew. But you don't.
Scum.
I had no idea
How bad?
what a disgusting, gross creep he was. So if anyone's looking for anything new, I don't know that I would. I mean, it's kind of true crime.
Yeah.
I definitely worth a listen. And I think it's the same people. They also produced one about the death of Marilyn Monroe, maybe. So,
I feel like I have had someone tell me.
yeah,
about that one.
like killing Marilyn or
Yes.
something. I don't know. So I really like how this is going. So I may
Awesome.
give that a listen to when I'm in. So look at us. See, we give to Wikipedia. We support other podcasts. What's not to love?
I mean, we're just podcast lovers.
We are.
Why you have that sticker on your car?
You know it.
I love podcasts. It's so cute.
My daughter got it at a
So cute. I'm jealous.
Alzheimer's walk. I don't know.
That
It's so
makes
random.
sense. That
but
makes
sense. That's where she got
Oh
it.
Lord! All right, let's do
Okay,
this thing.
Let's do this.
You ready?
So to, you know, pay retribution for my
Do not
story
apologize for
last week,
Krampus. It was so
I
good.
did some like serious
I'm gonna move
research
this
week.
candle,
but
though.
I don't have my manila folder. There's
Okay.
no danger. I will be discussing.
God.
That's not the page. The Bermuda
Bermuda
Triangle.
I love it. I love Bermuda Triangle stuff.
This was really kind of fun because all I've
Yeah.
ever really known about the Bermuda Triangle is, planes and ships go missing there. But I knew nothing else.
Amelia Earhart.
So I got my information from Wikipedia,
Okay.
history.com, The Week.
Did you use a beautiful sparkly gel pen?
I mean, I grabbed a pen out of the
You
drawer
did.
at
It's
home.
so pretty though.
Did that, and then I couldn't find it anymore. So then I just used a flare pen, which flare pens are life.
Yeah.
When anyone takes one of my flare pens, I like put a tracking device in their neck until they return it to me.
I'm sorry. I was just very distracted because beautiful sparkly. I mean, I love office supplies.
Of course.
So, okay. Anyway, back to your sources.
Livescience.com, and I watched an episode of World's Greatest Mysteries,
Ooh,
the Bermuda Triangle, on my Amazon Prime Video.
That sounds amazing.
So-
And why have I never watched that?
It's old.
It sounds fun.
But they have like an episode on JFK. They have
Yes.
like seasons of the show. I
love that.
But the hairstyles alone make it worth going in for.
Oh, I will. Hold on. I got one thing to say.
Okay.
I got a show I've been watching that I'm obsessed with, and I keep telling everybody to watch it. It's not paranormal at all, but it's called I'm Sorry on Netflix. And this lady I work with named Carrie told me to watch it. Have you watched this?
I have not. I don't think.
It is so freaking funny. If you need like a break from life, if life has life got you down? Are you stressed? It's
A little bit.
So funny. Watch it.
Okay.
Andrea
I'm sorry.
Savage. She's a
Okay.
comedian. Oh, dude.
I'm also super excited
So
because the new
wrong.
season of The Marvelous Mrs Maisel is getting
never
ready to come back.
seen that.
Oh my God. You have to.
Okay.
You have
Okay.
to watch it.
Marvelous
Highly
Mrs.
recommend.
Maisel.
It's on Amazon.
Mabel?
Maisel. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
What's it about?
It's set in, don't scream at me if I'm wrong, but I believe the 1950s.
Okay.
So
I keep seeing it, I'm like, is
women
this-
are prim, proper housewives,
Right.
blah, blah, blah. And she ends up, like, her husband, I think he cheated on her. I don't remember. It's been a while since I watched season 1, but so she just, like, gets really drunk and goes out one night and just steps out. They stage, like, an open mic
my
night
God.
for comedians, and she ends up becoming
A comedian.
like
love it.
gaining a lot of track, becoming a pretty famous comedian, and has this huge
fun.
following. And she's a woman, so it's like unheard of, and they don't want to let her do anything because she's cursing. She's doing all these
yeah,
things
yeah,
that's okay
yeah.
for men to do, but not
not
for women.
Gender.
Oh my God! Speaking of girl power, did you see my post? Alanis Morissette, Garbage, and Liz Phair are coming to St. Louis.
Oh my
If
God.
I don't get tickets, I will die. And I'm not even. I will. I'm.
She will
seriously
keel over
You have
and
no
die.
idea.
I will
like,
do this
Jagged
podcast-
Little Pill came out when I was 18 years old.
Oh, yeah.
I've always been pretty much a feminist, but back in those days, you didn't like, fly your feminist flag. And then Jagged Little Pill came out, and I'm like, yeah! So just think, like, I'm 18, I'm a freshman in college, I'm like exploring this whole new world, and freaking, that is the album that just
oh my God, you're not
shaped
alone.
my life. So excited about that. And I really want to take my daughter. So I think that that's important. So anyway, shall we get back to the Bermuda Triangle? Sorry. This is how our brains work, okay? I love her.
Joey,
I follow her on Instagram. She's always sharing like her skincare regimens and stuff.
Well, that's fun.
She is
What's
fun.
that guy? I keep wanting to say Joey Tribbiani.
Cut it out.
Yeah, that dick. Sorry.
What is it? Dave. I almost said Dave Chappelle. Dave Coulier.
Yeah. I said Coulier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, she was also engaged to Ryan Reynolds back in the day. So
dang
girl. You do you, Atlantis. I love you. Love you.
Okay.
Sorry.
Off topic.
So,
that's us.
Here we go.
Here we
Bermuda
go.
Triangle.
I can't wait.
What is it?
It's a triangle.
It's
Sort of.
It's also known as the Devil's Triangle and Hurricane Alley.
Ooh.
It's in the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean.
Okay.
It is one of the most heavily traveled shipping routes in the world. It has ports in the Americas, Europe, and the Caribbean islands. Caribbean.
Either way.
Okay. Tomato.
Yep.
Route.
I said Caribbean. I don't know which I say now. I've forgotten.
So commercial and private flights routinely fly over it. So
Okay.
it's not just, cargo planes and things. It's
Commercial flights,
Southwest Airlines is flying over it too. And more than 50 ships and 20 airplanes have disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah. That's the thing.
I found this kind of funny. The vertices are Miami, San Juan, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda. No. Miami, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Right, I thought that's...
And Bermuda. I'm like, a triangle has 3 points. So
when you said San Juan, Puerto Rico, I was like, oh, that's one.
Listen, we know geography's not my thing. Back off.
No, we're good.
And that's according to some guy, but then there are some other guys who are like, that's not where the boundaries are.
What about Cuba? I don't even know.
I'm a dork. I'm going to tell you where I think the vertices are. And it's like, no, who cares? Like, it's roughly
around here.
Yeah, it's not a perfect triangle anyway.
The Bermuda Square sounds dumb.
Exactly.
So...
And then there's so many right angles if you do that. So ain't nobody got time for that. And I'm not really sure. Well, is it a right triangle? I don't know. Look
what
at
do you
me.
mean? Or equilibrium?
No, I mean, does it? A triangle can have a right angle.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So who knows? I don't.
Is it on isosceles?
I don't know.
That's the only kind I know.
More like people are like, shut up and move on.
Why are you talking about types of triangles? This is our nerd humor. I said equilibrium.
Yeah, I think you meant equilateral, but that's okay.
Okay.
It can mess with your equilibrium, as it has for many.
Well, that's a good tie back.
Yes.
Back to the story.
It covers 500,000 square miles. Like, that's a lot of square miles to be covering, right?
Yeah. What? Okay. I can't even wrap my brain around that.
So it's huge. Like, it's huge. I think I never realized that either. I always thought the Bermuda Triangle was just like this little area that's like when you get to a yellow light and you're like, hurry up and step on it. Yeah. I kind of thought, well, that's what you do when you get to the Bermuda Triangle. Just, and it's like, nope, it's 500,000 square miles.
We're still in it. We're still in it. Oh, my God.
Columbus passed through it on his way to, discover the new world. Yeah,
that's funny.
Columbus. Yeah, real. You didn't discover that.
That's funny because I thought that Columbus just went like, whoop. No, I'm thinking of the Mayflower.
Not the same.
Oh, God. Why do I talk?
I mean, the people on the Mayflower were not any better to the Native Americans than Columbus was, though. So I can understand why you'd be confused.
Freaking Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
What a holiday. All right. I'm dumb. Moving on.
Remind me to tell you later about what one of my students said about the first Thanksgiving. It's hilarious. Now everyone's like, no, tell us. Nope, sorry.
Secrets.
You have to be my friend.
Secrets.
Come be my friend.
Or
no, don't.
Please leave us alone.
When Columbus sailed through the Bermuda Triangle, he saw a great flame of fire, which could have just been a meteor, but whatever. Columbus.
What?
And strange lights.
Oh.
And he got really wonky readings on his compasses. Like nothing was like lining up. And so he documented this in his
journal,
his log or whatever you keep.
Can you imagine?
I know nothing about
1492.
Boats,
you look around and all you see is water.
Yeah.
You're running out of food. Oh my God.
And then your compass stops working. So you're like, oh, great.
Now what?
And what are these crazy lights all over the place?
Is that a lantern up there?
Yes. Who knows what's going on?
God.
The actual phrase Bermuda Triangle was coined by author Vincent Gaddis in a 1964 magazine article. So they never actually referred to the area as the Bermuda Triangle prior to 1964. It was
place?
It was just that weird place where
don't
people,
go there.
You go in, but you don't come out.
You don't come out.
You've been warned. So now I'm going to go on and talk about some of the incidents that have happened in the Bermuda Triangle.
Okay, I can't wait.
And Amelia Earhart was not one of them.
Oh,
she just disappeared.
In general?
Yeah, in general.
Why do I feel...
Actually, there's a theory, too. Have you seen those photographs where people think it's her? Yeah.
Is it in Japan?
I don't know.
I feel like it is.
Like on a beach somewhere.
Amelia Earhart. Maybe I'll... Yeah, okay.
And FYI, I told you all these sources, so none of my dates go in order. So
that's fine.
Whatever. Who cares? We're not here for dates. We're here...
You don't need a timeline.
For facts. Well, you're not here for facts either. You're just here...
Entertainment. Pure
because
joy.
We are a good time.
I almost made a slit joke, but I
didn't. Let's don't. Oh, God. that's going to haunt me for the rest of my life.
It's hilarious. Ritz crackers. Go in.
So the first known reported incident was an Antarctica. This is not true.
What? Do.
I think maybe the first, I don't know, news worthy.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true either.
This is off to a great... The first known incident... Never mind.
Anyways, in 1950...
Okay. That's all we needed. Erase that first part.
There was an article written, and wasn't just in this article. This was covered in all sorts of places, and it was in this episode of World's Greatest Mysteries I watched, which
is also filmed in 1950.
Which I love because I love a good reenactment.
Oh God, yeah.
And this was amazing. Like people trying to pretend they're on boats.
Oh Lord.
It's great. And then they kept interviewing this author. Oh. And he was just, I wish they'd have panned the camera out because he was just like holding some piece of wood for no reason.
Why?
I need to know.
And this was the...
But I feel like it was something, but the camera was too close.
Back up!
It just looked like...
He's like literally holding the cross that Jesus was crucified on. Hello! Back up!
Like, back it up. I'm like, is it an old oar? Like, is he...
Noah's Ark!
Is this a theme? A nautical theme? I don't understand.
He's holding an wooden anchor. That would be a terrible
that'd be
anchor.
Metal.
Right.
Well,
wooden anchor.
I know nothing about ships. You can tell me anchors are made of wood back in the day, and I'll believe you.
I know they're not, but...
anyways, in 1950... the U.S. Navy was going to do like a training, whatever
simulation,
just a training. I don't know. And I'm so stupid.
Why are we so dumb? Like a training.
Yeah, gee, they're going to train so they could say they were trained. I don't know.
God. A training activity.
Yeah, I feel
there's a word for that though.
Training mission. See, I wrote it down. Training mission. They were on a training mission.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of myself. I would have been more proud of myself. I could have retrieved that word.
Training. Got it.
So it was involving 5 bomber planes, which like made me go, wait, what? I thought the Navy was boats. But I guess all branches of military do all those things. But then why are they divided up into branches? I'm so confused.
dumb.
I don't understand.
Can someone tell us?
Yes, if you're
Crystal,
a veteran, please reach out to us. I
Crystal
don't
Woodall?
understand.
Again?
So like the Air Force have people that go in submarines too?
No
I
way.
don't understand. So the Navy...
Crystal, can you help us? I know you're most... It's like Army... But anyway, help.
Yeah.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks for saying you saw powder. Love you. So yeah, they were going on this training mission.
Okay.
I got facts from so many places, so bear with me, people. There are Post-its here. Me and my Post-its.
And your frantic flair writing. I have so many facts. I gotta write them.
I did too. I had so many facts in a limited amount of time to get this done.
I'm impressed.
Okay. So the flight training mission was supposed to take 2 hours.
Okay.
It was led by Lieutenant Charles Taylor, and he had over 25 hours of flying time. So I'm assuming that's a lot. What did I say?
25. He flew one
Maybe
day.
that's why.
He flew that one time. It was good. He passed.
Thank God you could see my notes to correct everything.
Well, I knew that did not
butchered.
sound right.
So he flew for 2,500 hours. That's how you become
That's a really long
Lieutenant
time.
Charles Taylor.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. I'm glad he didn't get blood clots in his legs. That seems like that could be a real danger.
Yes.
So they completed the first leg of their training mission.
Okay.
Which I'm assuming would be 1 hour. Or 2 hours. And he got through the first leg. Maybe there's more than 2 legs. Maybe there were 4 legs. I don't know. I should not have bragged about all my research because now I'm just sounding stupid.
I'm sorry. I need to really get my...
And then I'm a little confused too because I think there was some things said there was only 1 pilot in each plane, but then other things said there was more than one
makes
person.
sense. From all my knowledge from movies, 1 makes sense.
No, Top Gun.
I know, but usually
You had
when
Maverick
they're like,
and
but
Goose.
in one plane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember Goose sat behind Maverick?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Remember
you're right.
when Goose...
No, you're right.
Sorry if you haven't seen it, but Goose dies, everyone. Because Maverick's showing off. But, so I don't know.
Anyway.
I don't know. There were people.
Maybe
on
since
those
it's a
planes.
training mission, they only have 1, you know?
Yeah, could be.
Everyone get in your own plane. I don't know. But you would want 2 people in case, like, what if you have a seizure?
Yeah, or you pass out.
Yeah. Or you have to poop.
But if you're like the person... I think they have their own little steering wheel. Maybe in the back. I don't know. I know. Why? Why? Sorry, everyone. Sorry. We're stupid.
It would be pointless to have 2 if they don't have a steering wheel.
God, it's like...
we're screwed.
It's like driver's ed.
Move your butt out of your seat. You're like...
My driver's ed teacher used to... He would set me up for failure and be like, take me through a school zone knowing that they set stop signs out during the school day that I'm not aware of. And you know, in a driver's ed car, they get their own wheel and their own brake and stuff. And he'd wait till we get right to that stop sign by a middle school and just... slam on brakes, and all those little middle schoolers would be outside laughing at me. I'm like, you jerks.
Yeah.
I can't say anything, though, because my friends and I, when we were in middle school, used to go to this grocery store. It had deli for lunch, and it was right across from the DMV.
Oh, nice.
And people had to take their motorcycle driving test there in the parking lot and drive around cones, and they would tip their motorcycles over all the time, trying to go through the cones, and we'd just sit and laugh and laugh.
I mean, yeah, I would do
karma
that.
works, people.
So maybe the person in the back of the plane just has a brake.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like they kind of like Goose would like look behind him and be like, Maverick, we got a MiG coming up on us. I think I used that right.
We got a what?
A MiG. It's a
MiG.
Don't ask me what it means.
Okay,
I'm proud of myself.
Well,
for
you said
saying that.
MiG. Yeah, MiG.
It's like a type of fighter jet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Missile.
That's a fact.
Incredible.
I don't know what it stands for. It's a
grandma.
It's a plane you can only get on the McDonald's menu. I'll take a MiG.
MiG.
Okay. Anyway, so when they turned back north to head back after their first leg was completed, all the instruments in all 5 planes started going crazy.
That's not right.
Just started going nuts.
That's not right.
So they're, calling back to the base.
Air traffic control, base, something like that.
All of their stuff's going crazy. They don't know what to do. And the guy back at the base that's doing the radio, whatever that guy's called.
He's like air traffic control, right?
He can hear them,
but
they can't hear anything he's saying to them.
Ooh.
That's clear because he can hear them, but they're not responding to any of the things that he's saying. So at one point, they could hear one of the pilots saying, "We're entering white water. Nothing seems right. We don't know where we are. The water is green, not white."
Wait, what?
We're entering really weird.
What? I don't understand what any of that means. What's white water? We're entering white water?
Yeah, we do. It says, "We don't know where we are. The water is green, not white." So I think it's almost like saying maybe they're going down in the water, but the water, there's something about the water. It doesn't look normal. Like it's changing colors.
It isn't water blue.
Yeah. So
neither white nor green.
Really weird. And then
that's creepy.
When I was watching the whatever I said it was called,
World's
Greatest Mysteries, they did a reenactment because they said the last known transmission from the bombers were overheard because
they don't come back?
Back in those days, they're listening on ham radios, they call them. I don't know why they're called ham radios, but I found it ironic that the guy in the reenactment was eating a sandwich. Is that why they're called that? Are they trying to give me a double dose of education right now?
But you have to eat ham. Handheld.
So he's just some guy sitting at home tinkering. I think that was like something
chilling
people
with
did,
his
like
ham.
a hobby. They just listened to their ham radios.
Just like people listen
to scanners. Exactly.
Being nosy.
And he said he heard them say, "Don't come after us. They look like," and then just cut off. So they were telling them, "Don't come try to help us."
Oh my God.
And they just said, "They look like," and then it cut off. Aliens. Well, no one followed that advice.
Oh.
So they sent a rescue plane.
Because you would have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With 13 crew members on the rescue plane.
13?
Yes.
How about 2?
And those 5 planes had disappeared. And then the rescue plane with 13 crew members disappeared.
Oh my God.
When they went to look for them.
And then they're like, well, never mind.
Yeah. Well,
we're done here. This
article I read said that the Navy Board of Inquiry said the planes just flew off to Mars. Like someone on the actual I guess so, if you're like,
we don't know.
I can say them whatever I want to say because we genuinely don't know. Maybe they did fly off to Mars. We don't know.
Or they crashed into the ocean.
Yeah. But for all 5 of them to have all of their instruments malfunction.
No, right.
For all 5 of those planes to disappear. And then the rescue plane that went out to disappear
about
is
theories?
Insane. Yes, I do get to theories.
Okay, because I wanted to say something, but I don't want to.
Yes. No, okay. I will get into theories.
Okay. It's bizarre. It's so bizarre.
Yes.
It's one of my favorite topics.
Yeah. It's so, because I would never plan to travel through it.
Well,
I
need to look at a map.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I have. I've been to Florida, but I haven't went past Florida.
But I've been to the Bahamas. Does that get into?
I don't know.
All right, you talk. I'm going to pull up a map. And listen.
So,
obviously,
Joshua Slocum was the first person known to sail around the world solo.
Can you imagine that?
No, I cannot.
That is so scary.
And so lonely.
I mean, why? Just bring a friend, man.
Yeah. But then you wouldn't be the first person to do it alone. You know, some people, it's all about the prestige.
The glory.
So in 1909, he disappeared while sailing from Martha's Vineyard to South America. And it is believed that he disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle. That's all I know about that.
Goodbye.
Sorry, Joshua. Peace out. In 1881, the Ellen Austin. I love how boats' names are.
I know.
Like, no, that's not. I mean, I know they name them after a lady usually, but like, aren't they usually like
Ellen?
The Lisa Bluebell or something.
Right,
I don't know. The Ellen Austin. It was sailing, and it came across an abandoned ship just floating around in the ocean.
That's so creepy. That's so creepy.
They put a crew on board the abandoned ship, and we're like, hey, just sail that back to New York with us. You know, we'll go together. So as they're sailing along, as one does, that ship disappeared. Just poof, gone, and they were sailing together. And it later reappeared, but the entire crew was gone.
Oh, my God.
So
freaking
decide
time
to put
portal.
another crew on board of it. I would be like, listen,
No.
Captain Crunch. I don't know what they're doing. I'm not going on that boat.
Screw you, Captain Crunch. Captain Crunch.
Yeah, I don't know. That's all I got. Captain America. I don't know things. Maybe his name was Ellen Austin. I don't know.
Captain Ellen Austin.
I'm not going on that boat.
How about you go, Ellen?
So they put another crew on there.
Sorry.
And then the boat disappeared again and never reappeared.
Oh, great.
So they lost 2 crews. And I don't know how many people they put on there.
It's just Ellen Austin left. Captain Crunch is alone.
Captain Crunch.
He's all by himself.
He's like, I wish I had some of those crunch berries so I wasn't so alone.
Dude, where'd they go?
No one knows.
Portal, man.
It's a mystery. That is one of the theories.
It's gotta be.
So
why would the ship come back but not people?
Yeah.
But even with the port, okay, I don't know.
They're like, we don't have enough. We have to come collect more.
We're in a new world. We're staying here.
We like it. Go get our friends, though.
Right.
So leave Captain Crunch alone. He's a jerk. So in March of 1918, the USS Cyclops, which was a 540...
That's a sweet ship name.
Yes. A 542-foot-long Navy cargo ship went missing without a trace, and it had 309 crew members on it. And it happened somewhere between Barbados and the Chesapeake Bay. Like, those don't seem like they'd be very close together.
Hold on, say that again.
Barbados and the Chesapeake Bay.
No, the Chesapeake Bay is like in northeastern United States.
That's like a lot of stuff between those things, right?
Like the entire the width of the United States.
That's like saying, well, I think my luggage fell off my car. It happened somewhere between, I don't know, Texas and
New York City.
Rhode Island.
Right.
Like, no, can't you narrow it? But it was in 1918. They should have had
mapping.
Kind of some sort of technology. I don't know. Well, they did. Because it said they never sent out an SOS call. So they had the capabilities of doing that at the very least.
How?
And with 309 crew members, like, even the Titanic was able to send out distress. You know what I mean? Like,
a flare. What are they sending out?
Someone's going to be able to, like, well, no, they have that little, that thing.
Sorry. Morse code.
S-O-S.
And then whoever's on the other end is like, eh.
Isn't that an ABBA song? S-O.
Yes, definitely is.
I love it.
I know that because is that a Mamma Mia?
Yeah. I don't know, but that's all ABBA music, so probably.
I don't know. Oh, yeah, okay.
So after that happened, President Woodrow Wilson was quoted saying, "Only God and the sea know what happened to that great ship."
Great.
That was my Woodrow Wilson.
It was good.
And then in 1941, 2 of the Cyclops' sister ships, so I'm assuming like from the same fleet.
Cyclops.
Am I saying that right?
Cyclops.
I don't know. Went missing along the same route. So 2 more ships.
And these are
affiliated with that U.S. Navy ship, yes. In January 1948, the Star Tiger, which was a plane, disappeared from somewhere. I can't read my writing. Azores to Bermuda. In January of 1949, these are all planes, by the way. I don't know. Look, I was really trying to jot this stuff down.
No, I see it. No, that's good.
The plane Star Ariel, I love these names,
yes.
disappeared. It was a flight from Bermuda to Kingston, Jamaica. In December of 1948, the Douglas DC
this is recent.
From San Juan, Puerto Rico to Miami disappeared with 32 people on board.
Oh, my God.
In 1955, a pleasure yacht. I even wrote there, aren't all yachts for pleasure? Like,
I love
what other kind of yacht is there?
This is my work yacht.
It was just found floating around the Atlantic south of Bermuda with none of its crew aboard.
Ew, what?
And the boat was perfectly intact.
Ships.
It didn't look like anything.
Like a wave had knocked it over or something.
So here are the theories for the Bermuda Triangle.
I can't wait.
Obviously, we're going to start with aliens.
Because that's probably what it is. Love it.
And then in this... God, I can't remember
Mystery.
this. World's Greatest Mysteries. They interviewed this guy who had the most amazing ponytail I've ever seen on a man in my life.
God.
He had snow white hair,
Oh, Lord.
a ponytail, and
Was it very thin?
and bangs.
Oh, God, what?
Yeah, no, it was really thick and lustrous, but he had just
Luscious?
like bangs. I love how I'm just like doing, I don't even know what I'm doing here, like a bread box going down, miming that. He just had some bangs.
Like he curled them with a round brush.
Yes, like he used a blow dryer and a
Oh my
round
God,
brush
I
and
need
curled
to
them
see
down.
this.
It
What?
was the greatest hairstyle of all
That's
time.
weird.
I don't know what his name was. But he
Ponytail
says that
man.
Puerto Rico is actually a hotspot for UFOs, and particularly a spot right near a naval base. And then there's also a mountain in Puerto Rico that's known for UFOs. But get this, it's guarded by the same like security, I don't want to say company, but like security people that guard Area 51.
So the United States government.
No, but it's like a certain, like it's a
Branch?
very specific unit of people
You
that
know
are
it's the
charged with that task of guarding Area 51, and it's those same
Shady.
people.
Shady.
And he's like, why does a mountain in Puerto Rico? So it's like if you
What's
go
in
there
that
to
mountain?
investigate, it's just like everything you've seen of Area 51. Like these trucks come racing towards you, and they're like,
Back
get
up!
out of here, kind of thing.
That's fascinating.
It said some guy actually
Storm Area 51.
was at that mountain and saw two craft go into the water, but not like they were crashing.
Like they were
and like deliberately entering the water.
'Cause there's
and then
probably an
several other
opening
people
under there.
have claimed to see that same thing happen over and over
What's
again.
in
Just
that
something
mountain?
coming from the sky and just on a direct path into the water, and then they never see it come back up out of the water because there's a portal.
Yes. Or an opening in that mountain. Maybe the inside of the mountain is.
Well, some believe that the
Fascinating.
aliens use the triangle as a portal to travel to and from Earth,
Yeah.
and that they use it to just come in, take people, ships, airplanes for research purposes.
Ew.
Like, I want to see what their technology is, so I'm going to take the ships, I'm going to take the planes, and then obviously we know
So maybe
they
it's
do
like
all sorts of research
On
on
your butt.
humans. Yes.
Maybe it's like a thin place.
Yeah, I
know
don't
what
know.
I'm talking about?
Yeah. They just, I don't know. I mean, well, and when I was reading something else on this, it said you realize only 2% of the ocean floor has ever been mapped.
It's so crazy.
So
weird.
there could be
What is
anything.
down there?
Oh, and back to old Christy Columbus. He wrote in his journal that the island natives actually referred to sky gods and green fireboats. So way back 1492, like there were island natives, and that's obviously they had no the UFOs or whatever was
Right,
thing.
right,
So
right.
they had sky gods and green fireboats, so they
What
could
is
see
that
things
even?
in the air and in the water. So
Ugh.
just take that and chew on it. For a
Creepy.
while. Another theory is that
I love this
Atlantis,
tune. Atlantis.
the lost city of Atlantis, is on the ocean floor in the Bermuda
People
Triangle.
are living down there.
And it uses its crystal energies to sink ships and planes. Then there was
Everyone get together, hold hands. We're using our
this
crystal energy.
episode I watched. There was this lady with like really big perm hair, and it was so funny. And her name was Donnie.
Donnie?
Oh, Donnie, with your hair.
It's a man's name.
First, she came on like talking about the UFO, like the alien thing, and they said, and she was like, "I saw a UFO." Off the coast of Florida, going into the water of the Bermuda Triangle. So she was the UFO person, but then she showed up
In Atlantis.
as a
Atlantophile.
Bimini researcher.
What?
So yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. Now is she just calling herself a Bimini researcher
Me
because she
too.
read something about Bimini? Because
Me too.
which, if you don't know, Bimini is
I don't know.
It's what they believe to have discovered some divers many, many years ago as a road
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah.
they feel was a road in Atlantis because they did all these tests and stuff on these, like, it's like a stone
That's
road,
really smooth.
but
and
it's really soft. It's not typical of any type of
that should be found on the ocean
Right.
floor. Yeah.
right.
No, that's right.
So she's a Bimini researcher.
Is
so
there
she
more
knew
than
all
one,
about that.
too? Why do I feel like Bimini lines?
Yes, there's
Okay.
because it's almost like
It looks like a
the rocks are the, I don't want to say medians, but they're like.
It almost looks like a runway.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And
okay.
so.
Yep. That's
so
right.
that's a theory that there's Atlantis under there.
Atlantis.
Then there was
think, hold on. Do they think people live down there in Atlantis?
Now?
Like mermaids?
I mean, they weren't talking about that.
Oh.
They were just kind of talking about the
was...
Bermuda Triangle, but they do.
Okay, one of us needs to do it.
And let's get real. Mermaids aren't Ariel. Mermaids are,
scary.
if you read folklore and stuff on mermaids, they're
fangs.
freaking terrifying.
They're not cute.
Well, that was like in the original Little Mermaid. Didn't Ariel have her tongue cut out?
Yes.
And, yeah. So, I mean, thanks Disney. It's a beautiful rendition.
Right. But Ariel, don't trade your voice for a man you just met.
No.
Come on.
For real. Gross. Especially if it involves getting your tongue cut out. Then there's I don't know this necessarily a theory, but there's something to do with this green mist.
Okay.
That people have described seeing. No one really seems to know what it is, but it's a couple different eyewitnesses. Sorry, I should not have eaten that pepper jack popcorn. I hope the mic didn't pick that up.
I hope it did. As someone who also has burped audibly, that was a gurgle.
It was.
I'm like, what's about to come out of her mouth?
Oh my God! Yesterday I made tacos to take in my lunch to work, and then I was like, I got to get my life on track here. So I went to the gym after work.
I had to get my life.
You cannot eat tacos for lunch with fire sauce on them. And then go to the gym.
Good for you.
Yeah, I had the worst heart. I thought I was going to puke in the gym.
Oh, God.
Because I drink a lot of water.
You look great for having just gone to the gym.
No, not today, yesterday.
Oh, I was like, look at your hair.
This is not what I look like when I leave the gym.
I was like, look, your hair is beautiful.
I look like I'm dying because I kind of am when I leave the gym. Let's be real.
Yeah, good for you.
So
I need to get my life on track. I need to get my life on track, too.
Oh, this one was great, too. The reenactment of this was amazing.
The green mist.
Yeah. So National Airlines Flight 727, I don't know what year this was, but I don't think it was all that long ago because
It's a 727.
They had whatever hairstyles that were on trend with the year this episode came out.
So it was really recent.
Yeah, I feel like they'd have given them like beehives or something.
Yeah.
It was before that. So they call, I guess when you're flying, you call air traffic control and they're like, hey, time check or whatever. And they're like,
I know
you kind of like give your
flight.
location. They're like, okay, you're 20 minutes out.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to land in 20 minutes. So that meant that they were right on schedule.
So what do pilots actually do?
I don't know.
Don't planes fly themselves these days? I mean, I should not say that because I know there have been times when pilots have saved people. I take that back. I've thought through my... Moving on.
Somebody's got to be there if the equipment malfunctions.
I know. I just feel like, doesn't the plane fly itself?
I mean, nowadays, well, I don't know. I mean,
oh God,
come
yes.
on.
I'm saying all
We're not
going to
get into
things.
it.
Moving on. I'm so sorry.
So
I'm an idiot.
They were right on schedule. They were going to be arriving in 20 minutes.
Yep, 20 minutes.
Wherever they were going.
To their destination.
To their destination. I feel like it was in maybe Florida or something.
To Florida.
So as they're flying, the co-pilot, it's really funny. He looks out the window and is like, whoa, there's all this green mist surrounding us. That's weird. But nothing else is going on.
But
so whatever.
fine.
And we're here. I mean, what are you going to do? You know what I mean?
Right.
We're in an airplane. Well, at that exact moment that he had saw that, their blip on the radar with air traffic control just disappeared. And so people start freaking out because it's like a commercial flight.
Yeah, full of people.
I mean, you'd be freaking out no matter what it was, but it's like, oh my God. So they're like,
yeah, you're going to be in trouble.
They're calling, oh my God, get search and rescue. We got to go. This plane has completely disappeared.
Yeah, it went down is what they're thinking probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then 10 minutes later, so all these people are going out, the fire people and
fire department.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know what the fire department's going to do. But that's what was in the reenactment. They were getting in fire trucks. I guess maybe I don't know. I was going to say maybe they weren't over a body of water, but yeah, they had to been for it to be the Bermuda Triangle. So I don't know.
They're just at the edge of Florida, like, we can't see them.
Maybe they have one of those. What are those?
Get a bigger flashlight.
What are those duck boats that could drive out Glen and then go in the water? Maybe their fire trucks are duck boats.
Oh, God.
But then when all these people are panicking and going out to like
The edge of the water.
I assume they're looking or like pointing, hey, out there's the plane crash. The blip just suddenly reappeared.
Oh my God.
And it was so funny because you could see like the supervisor guy was like, ah, turn it. Like he was so angry that their equipment wasn't working right. I'm like, well, you now know the plane is okay. Simmer down.
Yeah. And wouldn't you be like, Bermuda Triangle?
Yeah. So the plane comes in. The flight crew had no idea that any of this had happened because they were unable to make contact with them.
Oh.
So they're like, are you crashed? Are you crashed? You know, whatever you say. I don't know. Breaker.
Are you dead?
Captain Crunch.
Are you dead?
Are you dead? So they arrive. Oh, and when they're flying, I forgot this. This flight attendant comes up. She's like, oh, wow, I was able to get 15 minutes worth of work done in only 5 minutes. I'm so good at my job.
What? Lady, are you?
She actually commented on that.
Oh my God.
So
lady, no.
When they arrive, they find out they're 10 minutes late. But they're like, no, we contacted you 20 minutes ago and we were right on schedule.
Yeah, and nothing
changed. And they're like, no, you are 10 minutes late. When they went on the plane and looked at all their instruments, they were 10 minutes behind. And every crew member's watch was 10 minutes behind as well. And so remember that flight attendant thought she did 15 minutes. I guess she went around collecting, like, you know, here, we're getting ready to land. Give me your cups and all that stuff. And she said that usually takes her 15 minutes, but she's such an airhead. She's
I got it done in 5.
Oh
I'm my God.
So they literally lost 10 minutes.
Ew.
While they were in this green mist.
It's like a wormhole.
Yeah. And so they don't know what happened. They can't explain it. They disappeared from the radar for 10 minutes.
What? So we're just like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, what else are you going to do?
Is no one investigating that?
I mean, what are you going to investigate?
I don't know.
I'd be like, I'm not going into that airspace to see what happened.
Oh, God.
So then, and again, I don't know what year this was, there was this boat pulling a barge from Puerto Rico. And so there's this guy, and he's like, it's so funny. They've got him dressed like he's in a Charles Dickens. I'm like, this isn't Moby Dick. Like, stop
really
it.
tall socks.
He's like a funny hat and like a kerchief on his neck and stuff. And so he's like sitting down in the little cabin of his boat that's pulling the barge, and the electricity starts going off and on, and all the gauges start messing up, and he's like, what the heck? I'm just trying to pull this barge. So he goes up on the deck, and there's just this green fog everywhere. Oh. And he's like, I've been doing this job for my whole life. I've never seen anything like this. I can't explain it. And then out of nowhere, like this huge squall just comes in.
A huge what?
Squall.
Which is?
Like a storm, like a wind.
Oh.
Like a squall.
I know,
right?
sorry.
I've heard that term before.
No, I'm sure you're right. Okay. But you said squall and I thought of a bird. I'm like, a giant bird came and landed. Squall!
Grabbed him by his stupid little necktie. Okay, so the boat's just like getting tossed around. And again, none of the instruments are working. And they couldn't control the boat. Like, they're like, well, this is it. But then suddenly, it just became very still. And the green fog just was gone. They couldn't explain it.
What?
So they look back behind their boat where they were pulling this barge, and the rope is still pulled tightly. Taut, yeah. Pulled taut. Like it's pulling something,
yeah.
But the barge is gone.
What?
Yeah. So it's almost like the rope is still attached to the barge.
But it's invisible.
But the barge is gone. So I would say...
Or it's invisible. Or it's in a different...
It's there, but it's not there, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And the guy had commented that everything on the deck of the boat, like the railings, all that, if you touched it, it would burn your skin. It was so hot. What? And so that was completely inexplicable.
Oh, that is so creepy to
now
think
here's
about.
A couple, like, not paranormal theories out there.
So they're not true. Clearly,
right.
Obviously.
But kind of scary, nonetheless.
Oh, great.
One is methane bubbles.
The heck?
Which, great, was what just came out of my mouth a minute ago.
I'm in a methane bubble.
So in 2016, a bunch of craters were discovered off the coast of Norway, and each crater was half a mile wide and 150 feet deep.
In the ocean.
And they're believed to be formed by methane gas leaking from oil and gas that's buried deep in the ocean floor. the bubbles produced by this, because it when it releases its gas, it forms such huge bubbles that enough of them rise that it could actually sink a ship.
Oh my God.
Because it decreases the density in the water so much.
But it would still be in the bottom of the ocean. They could use sonar and find it.
Right. This is just a theory.
Okay, yeah. I just don't believe it. I mean, that is really scary.
And then they even said if enough of that methane gas rises to the surface and say lightning strikes, bam, or an electrical spark from the ship hits that, then boom, literally nothing left because the whole thing goes just up in an explosion. Another theory is compass malfunctions, because I learned something new. The Bermuda Triangle is one of only 2 places on Earth, and I don't know what the other place is, it didn't say, where compasses point to true north rather than magnetic north. Don't ask me to differentiate. It said something about the North Pole. I don't know. Like Santa?
Santa's like, I'm up here.
Yeah. But it's something that's
I'm
not
just trying to wrap my
normal.
brain around that.
So I guess true north and magnetic north are 2 different things.
That's confusing.
And so when you get into that area where that happens, the compass that would traditionally work no longer works because
so if you're a sailor, you have to learn that, right?
Yes. And it said, stuff I said was people that are sailing ships are well enough aware that this is a thing and that it happens there, that they should know to okay, use something else for this.
But back in Christopher Columbus days, maybe not.
Right.
As they're discovering the...
So that would be a reason, though, it would steer ships and planes off course.
Very weird.
And then the other theory was weather. Whatever. No explanation needed. So that was my thoroughly researched topic of the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, my gosh. Well, that was great. Oh, my gosh.
I love a good reenactment.
It's so fascinating.
It's great.
All right, you all. I turn on my light here. So... see here which one I want. I want that dark one. Okay, so my story tonight is, I titled it The Haunting of the Villanova Family. It's from, you've never heard of it because it's from the book that I'm reading right now. So I'm reading this book called Deliver Us from Evil by Ralph Sarchie. Sarchie. I've read it a lot and wrote it a lot, but never actually said it out loud. Sarchie. So I'm just going to go into here who he was, and then we'll go into the story, which is so jacked up. And how has there not been a movie made about this? Okay, moving on. So who is Ralph Sarchie? So Ralph was a police officer and sergeant with the New York Police Department in the South Bronx. As a young person, he was always interested in the paranormal, reading about it, just, like us, and watching horror movies. So basically us.
Yes.
In 1990, he passed by a bookstore. I wrote probably a Walden Books.
Oh, yeah. Or a Books a Million.
Books a Million. Oh, my God. The day of the bookstore is quickly waning, you know?
That was, when I was a kid growing up, we seriously did not have much at all. So me going to a bookstore and buying books was not going to happen.
Right.
But I remember we would go to the mall and I would just go in the bookstore and get a book off a shelf and just sit in the corner.
Yes.
And just read while my mom was out doing whatever she, running errands or whatever. And then she'd come get me when she was done.
Oh my God.
And it was just
walking
heaven.
in there, the smell.
I still go to Barnes and Noble.
Oh, me too.
I just love to walk and just rub my hands down on the books. And
I mean, the library is
I love books.
That's where I got this book from, the local library. So anyway, he picked up this book called Satan's Harvest. Have you read that?
I've not.
By Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Oh.
With Michael, Mark, and Maurice and Nancy. Other people. Okay. Who I don't know.
Was that our Maurice?
Maurice? Was it?
I mean, he was involved in...
Maurice
was it the
Theriault? Maybe.
No, I don't think that was his last name.
But maybe.
I don't know.
So he read the book so much. Again, this is 1990. He read the book. He loved it so much. He decided to just give Ed and Lorraine a call. So but this is 1990. He could just pick up the phone and call them.
So jealous.
I know, right? So Lorraine just answered.
Of course she did.
Hi, who is this? And they talked a little bit about Ralph's work as a police officer and how he was really interested in getting into investigating paranormal phenomenon. And so Lorraine was like, "Are you sure?" and gave that whole spiel.
Yeah.
And then they talked about the classes that Ed and Lorraine were holding in their home. I know. Can you? Oh my God, I can't even. So they were just holding classes in their Connecticut home about paranormal phenomenon and how to help people with it. And so at that time, Lorraine was like, "Oh my gosh, so you live in New York City? I know this guy, Joe Forrester, and he lives in New York City too. And he's been coming to my classes. You should come and meet him." And so he's like, "Great." And so they ended up actually becoming partners in their work, Ralph and Joe. So they worked together.
Like in their police work?
No.
Or in their paranormal investigation. Okay.
Yeah. He calls in the book, Ralph calls his police work the job and his paranormal work the work.
Okay.
To distinguish it because it's confusing. So yeah, Joe becomes his partner. And Joe's also a lie detector administrator. That's his real job.
Joe.
So, Halloween 1991. Joe gets a call from Father Hayes, who is or was, I'm not sure, an exorcist in a nearby state. I don't know what state right now.
Well, they're all really close together.
Yeah, it's just a state in the United States. It's one of the 50.
Really? It's one in the United States? Okay, thanks. Thank you for clarifying.
So you're welcome. That's what I do here, knowledge and facts. So he asked Joe and Ralph if he could investigate some possible demonic activity in Westchester County, which is a wealthy county north of New York City. So Father Hayes probably works in New York. I don't know. It doesn't matter. So that was on Halloween. So on November 2nd, Joe, 1992, that can't be right. That's a year later.
Well, I mean,
they were really busy.
Really high in demand.
That can't be right. It had to be 1991 because, it's literally, that's just, okay. So anyway, maybe it was 1992. Hell, I don't know. Anyway, so Ralph and Joe are like, sure, here we go. So they visit the family and they go there to investigate. But they went alone, which he said in his book is not usual. Usually they bring a team of some people, not a ton of people, but just not by themselves.
Yeah, I would not. No,
don't go alone.
I need my team. Team.
Mount up.
Yes. What? We're going on a mission. On horses, apparently.
I went to regulators. Mount up. Okay. So as Joe and so throughout this book too, which is interesting. I'm not even halfway through it, but there's a few. Anyway, why am I telling you about? There's a few chapters and they tell a few stories, but that's what books are.
That's what a book does, typically.
But throughout it, Ralph kind of throws in some of his knowledge that he's gained. Okay. So I have some things in here that I'm like, oh, didn't know that. So they pass by a Catholic church on their way to Dominic Villanova, whatever, on the way to his home. Okay. In Yonkers. And Joe makes a notice saying in here that Ed Warren once told him, and told Ralph, that the devil loves to operate in the shadow of a church. And so not always, but often you will see some of these demonic possession and infestation and all that stuff near churches.
Oh,
as it's almost like mockery,
Well, if Ed said it, then it's true.
Yeah, if Ed said it, for sure. Yeah. So they get to the Villanova's home in Yonkers, and Dominic and his 5-year-old son DJ answer the door. Answer the door.
Well, they had to be buzzed in, and then they picked up their little phone and said, "Come on in." That's how it went down.
I'm having a seizure.
It was the 90s. They paged him first, and then showed him on a pager, not like a.
Not like
attention,
a PA.
Kmart shoppers, not that kind of pager.
Not a PA system. Literal pager on your belt.
911. That means call me.
We're here. Okay, so Dominic and his 5-year-old son DJ answer the phone. Door. Guys, said it again. Why do I keep saying phone? The word phone is not on here. I'm having a seizure, literally. Okay.
Should I check your blood sugar right now?
Okay, wow. So Ralph notes that DJ just doesn't look well. He's 5 years old. He is blank. He's got rings under his eyes.
Oh, poor DJ.
He just looks terrified. Dad too, he just looks really disheveled, shell-shocked, just not right.
Yeah. Well, as a parent.
They're just not doing great. So Dominic leads them into the family's home. So they go into the living room, which he says it looks like a refugee camp. It's obvious they've been sleeping in there. There are mattresses, pillows, blankets, clothes, everything just like in this living room. Stacks of clothing along the wall, bed, sleeping bags, all that jazz. So there are a lot of people living in this home. So as we get going, there's just so many names. So I'm going to give you the lay of the land here.
Okay, I'm ready.
People in the house. So there's Dad, Dominic, Mom, Gabby, DJ, the youngest son. There's Carl, who's engaged to Luciana, who's Dominic's oldest daughter. Carl's mom, Ruth, also lives there, which is kind of weird. And then 2 more teenage sisters who I don't know their names.
Okay, so it's Charlie Bucket's family.
It's like, exactly. It's like, okay.
All sleeping on this
Right.
mattress.
I'm
on
like,
the
why
floor.
is Luciana's fiance living here? And then why is his mom? Like, I don't know. Maybe they're down on their luck. I don't know.
It's New York. It's expensive.
It
to live
is.
there.
It is. So they're all living in the house. So Ralph and Joe said that they begin each investigation with giving each person a St. Benedict medal. So they're Catholics.
Okay.
I don't know a lot about St. Benedict, but they gave each person a medal. So when they put the medal on a string, and then they put it on DJ. And a second later, it fell to the ground, although the string had not been broken. So it like was on him, and then it fell off. Weird.
Weird. Very weird.
Then it happened a second time. Then it happened a third time. And then I guess the fourth time it stayed. I don't know.
Oh, I was going to say maybe they just stopped.
Forget
this
it.
isn't working.
They put it on everyone, even the dog, by the way.
Oh.
And they said that they always do that. They put it on the pets, too.
My
which I
dog
think is
would lose her mind.
Or eat it.
Yes, that would not
I'm just
go
going to
well.
eat this now. So Ralph notes that, I keep saying that. Ralph noted that only the most powerful demons can manipulate sacred objects. So most demons cower away from holy water and metals and all of that stuff.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, but I guess some really powerful
So whatever
ones.
this is able to rip that right off a little DJ's neck.
Yeah, poor DJ.
Poor DJ.
So they began interviewing the family. So this is what they learned during the interview. So the initial attack happened on Halloween night. And this thing appeared in Gabby and Dominic's room. So mom and dad's room. So they said the room got really cold, but it wasn't an abnormally cold night. So it was unusual. So in the corner of the room, Gabby saw white smoke, not green mist, but white smoke. And out of the smoke came a woman.
Is that you?
I like how
Landslide, bro. I don't know why I imagine Stevie Nicks walking out of smoke and death.
she's kind of witchy, though.
She is.
But I like how this thing just I imagined Beyonce. Like,
Very theatrical.
but it was a woman, but only from the waist up. So it didn't have a lower body. No vagina. Why did I say that? God, I'm dumb.
I guess because it's alive. Or legs or feet.
Or anything from your waist down. Yeah. God, I'm such an idiot.
We're just naming body parts now.
Do you know your body?
We don't even know like the anatomically correct words for anything. Like just your legs.
No
And
femur?
no
what am I-
tibia. Or is that in your arm? I don't know either.
So Gabby screamed, ah! Obviously. And Dominic came in. I guess he was in another room. And she's like, do you see him? Her? Do you see her? And he's like, no. And then the woman says, my name is Virginia.
She speaks.
Oh, yeah. She speaks
Yes,
a lot.
Virginia, there is a Santa
Which is a
Claus.
funny name, right? For a ghost. Virginia? So then Dominic says, so that's Gabby's perception of what
Okay.
happened. Dominic says that then Gabby was in a trance for 3 minutes, just staring in a trance, and she began speaking as Virginia.
Oh.
My name is Virginia. I don't know how she talked in the trance, but that she was in a trance as Virginia. Ew.
Yeah.
And then Virginia says, no harm, no fear. What does that mean? And then she said, I just want your help. Help, parents. None of that makes sense.
No.
And then Dominic's like, Gabby, wake up! What?
Well, yeah, I would too. What are you doing?
So here's something interesting I didn't know. Ralph says that it's a typical sign of the demonic. The typical sign of the demonic. They give themselves away with some abnormality of appearance when they try to look human. So like they'll
no lower body.
yes.
Got
So they'll
it.
screw something up. no lips.
Oh.
That's a minute.
That
Black
wasn't
theory we
even
didn't
a
go-
theory
It wasn't.
we did.
It wasn't. Anyway, so
Put
that's
that
really
in your slit and smoke it.
exactly. Yeah, you take
Theory.
Yeah, you.
We came up with it ourselves. Now the Men in Black are going to come see us because we have official research notes.
We are ufologists.
We are.
We have 5.
I've been going to the gym so I could outlast your 30-minute power life.
Right.
Demon. Okay, I shouldn't
Let's not
taunt
fight
demons.
demons.
No, just kidding. They're
just
aliens.
if you're a robot alien thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He also said that it's very common for demons to do this divide and conquer thing. So it's like you see one thing and I see another thing, so that I think you're crazy because I didn't see what you see.
So they're gaslighting him.
Exactly.
Great.
Exactly. So the next day, Virginia shows up again.
Oh,
during the
Virginia.
day. So Gabby's in the basement, I imagine doing laundry or something. She looks in a mirror, and there's Virginia. I don't know if she had legs this time. But again, she says, parents, help. Like, that doesn't even make sense.
Are the parents there?
Who are the parents? Nobody knows. Well, these are the parents. Gabby's the mom.
Oh, I thought Gabby was the older sister.
Well, 'cause
no,
Gabby
that's
sounds like
Lucinda. I'm getting them.
Gabby
sorry.
sounds like a child.
It does.
but it's like, what does that mean? So then Virginia tells Gabby that she'd been in finishing school abroad and she'd followed her parents there in an old-fashioned voice that I'm doing right now. And she said, what manner of place is this? And what manner of dress is that? So she's like trying to talk to Gabby.
It's a basement, Virginia. And these are sweatpants because I'm going through a lot right now. Quit judging me, you freaking hag.
And it's 1991, okay?
Yeah.
I know what year you think
So
it is.
my sweatpants probably say, no, that's the 2000s. They wouldn't say anything on the butt.
They probably say
1990s.
juicy. These are Paris Hilton originals.
Yeah, it's velour, Virginia.
Yeah, you don't even know what that fabric is, probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
So Virginia thought it was, tisn't in 1901. Virginia's so...
What does she say? Like Tiny Tim? What do you...
Please say, I haven't done that. That's not the first time I've said that on this podcast. That's so embarrassing. And so Gabby said, I wasn't afraid of her. And then they had a lengthy conversation about fashion. No, I'm not even kidding you.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So stop being dumb, Gabby. Again, Ralph says, this is strategic on the demonic side. We're trying to make a... Oh,
Keep going.
What are you
Keep
doing?
Going. I gotta blow my nose.
Okay, that's fine.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Just the season.
Well, you just whispered something at me and I missed it. So Ralph said that that's strategic on the demon side, but it's because it's like I'm trying to make this seem innocuous.
Good job.
Thank you. Don't be afraid. I just like fashion. Oh, I went to boarding school.
Sorry, I can't help
Hey,
it.
no, I
have some serious sinus issues
I literally
lately.
burped in your face once. So just shove those up your nostril. I'm fine with it. Okay.
I would not be fine with that.
Okay.
That would be super uncomfortable.
So then Gabby had another interaction with Virginia, but this time she kind of felt like Virginia was getting a little aggressive. Because Gabby was like, look, if you want to talk, don't enter me. Because what Virginia had been doing was like entering her and talking through her. And Gabby was like, look, don't do that anymore, Virginia. Back
I've had it.
Hashtag me too.
Yeah.
I got
No problem talking to you about bedazzling everything I own because
Right.
it's the 90s and
1990s.
like some scrunchies
and
and
hairspray
Janko jeans
and flannel.
yeah.
Let's talk
we're
about
good
it.
with that, Virginia.
But
we're
you
gonna
stay
do
over
it
there.
woman to woman.
Yeah, stay in your mirror.
Stay in your lane, Virginia. Do you know
But-
what that means? Probably not.
No,
'cause you're
but
from
then Virginia
1901.
did it anyway. And Virginia.
No means no.
Virginia sucks. And then Gabby was just saying, help, parents, help. Again, find a new freaking top. Okay, so Ruth, who is Gabby's daughter's boyfriend's mom. Did you follow that?
I think.
Ruth is Carl's mom.
Okay.
Okay.
Is she living there too?
Yeah, remember?
Oh, that's right. Okay, I thought you were
Which is
saying she
weird.
was the grandma, but never mind. No.
Because Ruth sounds like a grandma.
Ruth and Carl need to go seek some gainful employment. You're such a freeloader. You're going to take up residence in someone's house is being overtaken by a demon.
You're so hard up. You can't. They don't even leave. Like, they just stay the whole time. Go to the Super 8.
Yeah. Something.
But Carl's like, Lusania, I don't know how to say it. She's my woman. I'm sticking by her.
So whether you like it or not, Mom, you gonna stay? I don't care, Mom. And Ruth's like, well, Carl,
guess I'll stay. I like Gabby.
Can I just get my own mattress?
I love how we all sleep in this living room together. It's literally Charlie Bucket's family. Oh my God. All right. So Here we go. So Ruth and Gabby were, doing some girl talk.
Okay.
And Virginia then just took over Gabby's body and began weaving this sordid tale about how she had been murdered on her own wedding day and that her fiance was accused of her murder, but he didn't do it, and then he committed suicide. Ruth and Gabby buy this shit and they cry. They're crying.
No.
With a ghost.
Ruth and
Again,
Gabby?
this is another tactic, right? Yes.
Sorry. So she's speaking through Gabby, but Gabby is...
Maybe Gabby didn't cry. Maybe just Ruth cried.
But Gabby is like
hear
recalling everything. So she's hearing the conversation. And is she conversing with it? Like she's just saying something and then answering it and then...
That would be so confusing. So I don't think so because they call it trances that like Virginia would go into a trance.
Okay.
So I guess it's just Ruth. Really, it's just Ruth and Virginia talking, and Gabby's just like not
hanging out in the corner somewhere. Okay.
She's that guy that was in the corner from that other story.
Okay.
And Gabby's like, "Excuse me, you're using my mouth. Can I get in on this?" Please? You're right. Yeah, so Ruth cries, I guess. Maybe not Gabby. Gabby's over here rolling her eyes. So Ralph said that that's another tactic of the demonic is that they use a story that we can relate to because, like, Ruth and Gabby's children are getting married. And so they're using this story about, like, Virginia being a bride as well.
Okay.
So something relatable to kind of reel you in.
Ish.
Okay. I mean, if you're dumb.
I mean, do they think Carl's going to murder Lucinda?
Well, it makes them feel sorry for her, right?
Okay.
They're like, oh my gosh, she was a bride.
That could be our children.
That could be, damn it, Carl. Gabby starts looking
Carl just keeps getting worse and worse.
Gabby starts looking at Ruth out of the corner of her eye like, what's Carl doing? So Gabby, when she was talking as Virginia, she would stammer a lot, which was not how she spoke. So it was bizarre. Okay. And they called it trances. Would come out so she would come out of her trances if the light was turned on or someone shouted her name. Gabby!
Well, just leave the lights on, then. Whatever.
Well, I don't think it was only in the dark. I don't know.
Pass out sleep masks when you guys want to go to sleep.
Right.
But
the lights are always on. So Ralph calls that transient possession. So it's like Gabby's will wasn't completely broke down for full possession yet, but it was a little broke down.
Okay.
She broke down.
So the light and yelling her name is kind of like a little Band-Aid.
It is.
But
it's not looking good.
Right.
So Ruth and Gabby, they're really into this story. It's like, oh my gosh, this ghost, we want to find out more information about her. So they start going to the library and they start doing research and trying to find out like the history behind it all. And they start kind of...
But all they know is her name's Virginia.
Virginia Taylor.
Oh,
I think
okay.
they might know some more information. I just didn't put it in here.
Okay.
Fake information.
Because that would be really hard to do some research on.
Just Virginia.
Virginia.
But someone who died, was murdered. I don't know. Anyway, so they really start like neglecting their family. They're spending countless hours researching
Ruth.
Virginia. And tension starts to rise between Dominic, the dad, and Gabby. So Virginia, meanwhile, is playing this shit up. So she's saying that she had a stillborn baby and that she was worried that her parents had been murdered too, and that she needed to find her allegedly suicidal fiance's grave, and so she's asking Ruth and Gabby to like go searching for this grave and all this stuff. And then they would weep and be all sad when they couldn't find it, is what I wrote, because none of it's real, right? So Then Gabby made her biggest mistake. She gave Virginia permission to enter her. Okay?
Gabby.
I know. So they got some old maps and they spread them out on the table. And she got a pen and she's like, okay, Virginia, show me where we need to go. So stupid.
No.
So her hand begins to shake and from side to side, and she draws the letter W or M. No one knows.
Depends on which way you got the paper turned.
Exactly.
I guess.
So Ralph says, here's another Ralph fun tidbit, is that when the demonic communicate with us through writing, it's often backwards or upside down, or as if a right-handed person wrote with their left hand. Which I think is interesting. Because so many of these things, like Annabelle, it looks like a child's handwriting.
Right. Well, because I think it's one thing to get inside of someone, but to be able to control all their motor skills, that, don't you think that's why?
Or the backwards upside down thing.
Yeah.
It's like
even think, though, if they've taken someone over, it's like, I don't know, you think of like in the movies where something's inside, so they're writing, but they're writing from the inside.
Yeah.
So it's mirrored. Mm-hmm. So,
and I think in this a lot too, like everything that demons do is so perverse. You know, like so it's like they can't even just write correctly.
Right.
Anyway, so at this point in the interview, because remember, this is just them telling Ralph and Joe.
These are all the stupid things we did.
So Ralph and Joe are like, look, there's no Virginia. It's a demon. Shocker. And Joe and Ralph are like, we're not going to call it Virginia anymore because there's no Virginia. It's a demon. We're calling a spade a spade. Like, it's a demon. It doesn't deserve a human name. The wedding was a load of crap. They're trying to play on your emotions. So that begins to make sense to Gabby.
Oh, well.
Yes.
Everything else.
So on Halloween, when Father Hayes had initially called Joe and Ralph, was when something really weird had happened. So all this was prior to Halloween. So this is what happened on Halloween to prompt them to call Joe and Ralph. So Virginia... Sorry.
You like the sound of papers rustling in the microphone?
Sorry, I got a new notebook because I couldn't find my other notebook. So Virginia told Gabby, I'm not evil. Cool.
Yeah.
Normal people don't say that.
No, you don't open with that.
Hey, you want to be my friend? I'm not evil. And she tried to lure Gabby down to the basement. Hey, you want to come down here?
Hey, I swear I'm not evil. Come to the basement now. Okay.
Which is this thing's favorite place. So then they heard Virginia say, like, this wasn't like Gabby talking. They just heard this. Okay. Again, like the Bell Witch. I've dealt with Father Hayes before, and this time I'll win. Holy ones must not come. Okay. Virginia's not saying that. Like, why would some nice 1900s ladies say that? Context clues. I'm not victim blaming, but kinda. Yeah. Because, like, come on.
Yeah.
No.
Some lady who was murdered and just wants help.
Isn't going to say holy ones must not come, and she's never met Father Hayes, anyway. So while Joe continues to interview the family, Ralph decides I'm going to go look around the house a little bit. So he walks into a recently vacated rental apartment that was attached to their home, and he finds that all the walls were painted black, which is weird and awkward.
Right.
And they don't know for sure, but they think that the guy that was living in that home before was practicing the occult. Seems likely. Why else are you painting all your walls black? I mean, not to say that everyone has black walls.
Chalkboard paint. I think that was a thing in the 90s yet. So.
True. So it's just kind of weird, and he said he felt a weird vibe in there. So maybe he said that, I think, just to point like a possible reason for why all this stuff went down. So he starts to walk back downstairs, and he sees this extremely bright ball of light whiz past him and disappear. So he's like, okay.
That's not normal.
So then he goes downstairs. He tells the family what he just saw. And Luciana and Gabby are like, yeah, we've seen that too. We see that like often. So Ralph then goes into the basement as he continues on his little search here. Kind of like what Lorraine does. I wonder if he got this from her. You know, like he's not psychic, but he kind of just doesn't.
Those classes are paying off.
They are. He knows the deal. So he goes downstairs.
Sorry.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Do you need another drink of this giant Sonic drink?
I know, right? It
What
was
is
happy
it?
hour.
Oh, God, I love Sonic so... Sonic, do you want to sponsor us? We'll do commercials for you.
I come there and get a Route 44.
Yeah, Route
Diet Coke
44.
all the time.
Yes. Oh, my God. And there's slushies. Okay. So Ralph goes down to the basement, and he starts just getting, like, terrible feelings. He starts to feel nauseous and, like, headache and just not well. And he sees this storage room with double doors at the end of the hall.
What is with these creepy rooms and basements?
And why is there double doors? It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's an unfinished basement with double doors. Okay. And he just gets this overpowering, menacing feeling. His heart starts racing. So he just starts, like, throwing holy water at it and runs upstairs.
What else are you going to do? That's all I got.
So, okay, great. So... Then we get to talk. So then Luciana starts sharing what's going on with her. So she starts sharing that with Joe and Ralph. And I mean, this lady, she's a teenager, but she has been going through some stuff. Like, it is horrible.
That's great. Where all the while, Ruth and Gabby are just like at the library looking up.
And I mean, wait till you hear this.
Dead woman who never existed.
It is terrible. So she's been the main main target of these physical attacks for a while, including having a full glass of water thrown at her head. Ow.
Yeah.
Her bed shaking violently and actually coming up off the floor. She's been being scratched daily, wide red marks on her arms or legs that would usually go away very fast. Like, she'd feel scratch, burning, and then it would just be gone.
Oh, great.
So you couldn't even show anyone.
Right.
She's been woken up at 2 a.m. to painful burning on her stomach, and then saw that a pentagram had been scratched into it, as well as the number 666 scratched into her arm. Great.
Jeez.
I've
been dealing with all this on her own.
Yeah.
Because Charlie Bucket's just, I don't even know what's happening.
Freaking
Get out of bed,
Gabby.
Grandpa Joe. Help her out.
Right. Also, Ralph doesn't believe in poltergeists. He thinks it's all demons. Fun fact.
Yeah. Well, I mean, those things were, I mean,
that's not
666. Ralph, I know you pride yourself in being a real good, like, police detective, but even we can put that together.
Right, well, we already know. Okay, soda break, sorry. So a few nights after all this began happening to Luciana, I don't know how to say that name.
No, I just call her Lucy.
Lucy. Gabby saw, this is kind of weird. So Gabby saw her father, who had recently died a couple years prior. He came to her in their house. So he was like, look, Virginia, he kept calling Virginia the lady. And he was like, she's good. She's safe. Don't worry about her. She's fine.
Oh.
He came to Gabby 4 or 5 times, and they would have like long conversations, her and her deceased father. And he's
I
like,
don't like that.
No, he's trying to convince her that Virginia's kosher, right? So then he even came to DJ, the son, like the 5-year-old son, which I don't like that either.
No, it's not okay that they can take on the form of your deceased loved ones.
Hold on, okay, there's something about that I want to say. Yeah, and DJ and him talked for an hour. So Ralph talks a lot about how the demonic have access to, like, sorry, I got ahead of myself. So Gabby insisted that it was actually her dad because he knew things about her childhood. She's like, it had to be my dad. He knew things about my childhood, what I literally just said.
Yeah.
How could a demon know that? And Ralph,
because it's been inside your body, Gabby.
Right. And Ralph was like, look, they're not human. They have access to all that information.
Right.
They can, like, I don't know, but somehow they can know those things and to be able to trick you. So you need to so Ralph suggests, because, like, I know people claim all the time that they see their dead relatives, right? And so I don't want to sit here and be like, it's always a demon, because I don't know that. But he said that don't just count on if they can tell you stuff about your childhood to convince you that it's your dead relative. That there's actually a way that you can can't talk to prove.
Differentiate?
Yes.
Okay.
So ask them to say the words, I love God.
Okay.
Because a demon will not say that. A demon will say all kinds of other things, but they will not say to you, I love God or I love Jesus or whatever.
Huh.
So he
tip.
shared some stories about how demons have even literally posed as Jesus Christ. Like, hi, I look like Jesus, but a demon cannot speak from Jesus's mouth, even if it looks like Jesus. So, like, if you tried, anyway, I don't know, I'm just going down a weird tangent here, but, like, So if your dead relative comes to you, be like, please say, I love God. I love Jesus. And if they do that, then move forward with conversing. I don't know. That's my advice. But because that creeped me out. Because I was like, man, you would come to you, like, Amy and I both have deceased parents. Yeah. And so, like, if my mom came to me, I'd be like, oh, it's my mom. But no, it might be something trying to mess with you.
Yeah.
In a really terrible way.
And would you even have the wherewithal to be like, oh, hey, say this?
No.
Like, no.
You'd be like, holy crap, it's my mom. Yeah. It's my dad. Like, no.
Which I love you, miss you, don't want to see you.
No. You shouldn't.
I'll see you
later.
Yeah.
See you later.
So please.
Don't come to me.
No.
Like, no.
Nope. No. Not okay.
Nope. That actually, I have, like, issues with that idea. Anyway, moving on. Listen to this one. So one time, DJ was at school and his quote-unquote grandpa came to visit him. While he's at school, he actually got in trouble while in class because he was talking to his grandpa, who's a demon. Because that's not your grandpa.
No.
That's so...
God, that's like Freddy Krueger showing up at the school, dragging the girl in the body bag down the hall. Stop it!
I know, and it's like, what? How'd they get to your school? So anyway... So after
this kid's only what, 5? He doesn't know.
He doesn't know. And the mom was like, I know it was my dad because he knew things about my childhood. Wasn't it Grandpa, DJ? And DJ's like, Mom, I was 3 when he died. I don't even know.
Right. He said he was Grandpa, and I'm 5 now, so
I believe
it was Grandpa.
Right. So after the Grandpa stuff, Lucy, she was being attacked at least one time a day. At least. Punched, kicked, flung on the floor, dragged out of bed, bitten, yanked by her hair. She's getting no sleep. And that's when they decided, look, we're all sleeping together. Everyone get your blankets. Everyone meet in the living room.
Favorite sweatpants and meet me in 5.
So there's a group of 10 of them. They're all sleeping in the living room. And they're getting woken up every few hours or less by something scary happening. Like heavy furniture moving on its own or levitating. Books being thrown at people, beds being picked up and flown about, TVs, stereos that would blare to life in the middle of the night, even while unplugged, which Ralph notes that it's like the demonic, because let me go back here a second. The stages of demonic possession, which, because I need to mention that a bit, is infestation, which is where you begin hearing knocking, weird phone calls. Like they said, even some people get weird phone calls like, where you just hear breathing or something weird on the line, which is gross. Animals, you hear animal cries or baby cries, like something, I don't even know if I mentioned it here, but this family would hear just like the sound of a tortured baby screaming. And they didn't have a baby. Oh, God. And they're like, what? So that's infestation. And then becomes oppression, which is mental and physical attacks on people, and then possession. So this TV stereo thing blaring to life in the middle of the night, one of their tactics is like, literally like terrorists, like what we do to terrorists is like anything
Keeping from being able to sleep.
Yes, because then your will gets broken down.
Right.
And then you're like,
you're exhausted and you're like, come on in, Virginia.
I'm done with this.
Yeah.
The TV won't turn off. Moans and howls, they would hear that from the basement. They would wake up in the morning to messages being written on bathroom mirrors. Like help backwards. Lucy found silk petal flowers removed from a vase and arranged in the shape of a cross on her bed, which is weird. Lucy's prized clown possession was shattered. That's just mean.
That is mean.
So the family took to using the bathroom and showering in groups. I mean, that's how scared these people were. Geez. I mean, seriously, though, you think about you're naked in the shower. Mm-hmm. So, like, that's how extreme this was, that they wanted to make sure that there was one person looking out while the other person's, like, taking a Because, like, they said that one time, one of them was taking a shower and a soap dish flung from the sink into the shower and almost hit one of them in the head. Which, like, that could really hurt you.
But what's the second person going to do to...
I don't know.
Help that.
Be like,
just like,
duck!
Deflect! I'm going to...
Duck! Yeah. Get down!
But that would happen so fast. It'd be like...
I mean, I would be scared to death to take a shower by myself. I'd probably be like, can you please just sit?
I'd be like, I'm just going to have a sponge bath today.
You just don't shower at all anymore.
No.
So Ruth, whenever that's Cole... What's that kid's name? Carl. It was a Cole. She would get cold and shake whenever the presence was near her. Am I going too long? Okay,
I went too long.
No, I think I just have so much information. We both do, so it's good. Sorry, everyone. So whenever Lucy was getting hurt, Ruth would feel like needles poking her legs.
Ow.
Which is weird, right?
Yes.
What time is it?
And awful.
Oh, God, it's 6:35. I have to pick up my groceries by 7. Okay. Moving along. Jesus. Okay, record of Halloween night. So this is what happened Halloween night that prompted them to call. Okay, I'm just going to check in with my groceries so that they don't send them away. I am coming. Hold on. Check in. Okay, great. So at 6:20 p.m., Lucy was slapped in the face twice. At 8:03, an ashtray flew across the room. At 11:28 p.m., she was scratched on the stomach. At 11:31, she was pushed into a wall. I mean, this is in one night. 11:39, someone scratched a circle into her face. At 11:46, her head was slammed into a table. At 11:48, she was dragged off a chair. At 11:52, they hear growling. At 11:56, a chair moves across the dining room. At 12:05 a.m., she's knocked into Ruth. At 2:14 a.m., Lucy's pulled out of bed. At 2:16 a.m., she is punched in the stomach. 2:17, pushed off a chair. 2:18, a flash of light and a rotten egg smell. 3:15, she's hit in the head with a shoe. And at 3:56, her fingers are pinched. That's one night for her.
Now, this is the police officer's record that he's keeping?
No, this is her record.
Okay, so she
so
got,
who
like,
knows?
a log. Okay, no,
Yeah,
I
they
just
started
didn't know.
to.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, that's so jacked up, right?
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so that was Halloween night. Again, what prompted them to call Joe and Ralph. So the next night was even worse. So Lucy woke up to her mattress it was lifted in the air 2 feet and then was thrown to the floor. She looks up and she sees a creature sitting in a chair laughing at her. Ugh. She said it was white and hairy. It had no eyes and just black sockets. So she tried to kick at it and it gave her the finger and laughed and vanished.
Wow.
So then
you don't have to be so sassy.
Yeah. So then she heard it laughing again. So it's gone, but she still hears laughing. Okay, and then trigger warning here because this gets rapey. So if you don't like that, fast forward 30 seconds. I mean, who does like that? But anyway, you know what I mean.
Right.
So then, again, this is Lucy. She's 15 years old. Something begins pushing her legs open. And she's trying to scream, but no words are coming out. So, like, she can't alert anybody to what's happening to her. So, finally, I guess people start noticing. I don't know how exactly. But her dad, Carl, and Ruth are all coming over to her and trying to push her legs together. Because, I mean, you see nothing.
Right.
It's just prying her legs apart. And then it stops. And it's over. So, again, I said that thing already. So, the next night is when Carl's going to bed. So it's the next
Where have you been all this time, Carl? Come on, man up.
November 1st. Carl's going to bed. He starts feeling a little bit creeped out, like something's lurking nearby. And then suddenly he's paralyzed. He cannot move. And he feels something crawling up his left leg. And then he feels it enter him.
Ew.
And he starts shaking all over. And he says that he feels an alien presence inside his body. He starts feeling like it's difficult to breathe, like a hot rag's over his face. It lifts his body off the bed and he begins talking in other languages. And then he passes out because he's trying to fight it so hard. And then when he comes to, he's normal again. Like, what is happening to these people?
That's a lot of stuff.
So at this point, oh my God, I know. So at this point, Joe and Ralph are like, great, we're going to go now. I don't know. And Lucy...
We got to go take a couple more classes with Ed and Lorraine. We are not prepared for this.
This is too much.
Sorry we wasted your time.
Bye. So they're wrapping up their interview, and Lucy gets a huge red gash on her face, and then her hair is pulled hard enough for them to see her head, like, snap backwards. Just, like, so terrible.
Yeah.
It's like bullying.
Poor Lucy.
So they're like, okay, we should really do something now. We can't wait for a priest. So they begin walking around the house, doing the Pope Leo, the X11, what is that, 13th prayer? I don't know. All the dogs in the neighborhood go ape. They're just like barking and going crazy. So Carl, I don't know where he was, but he runs down. Maybe they're downstairs because, you know, they walk around the entire house. So he's like, come quick, something's happening to Gabby. So Gabby's on the living room floor. She's seizing. The demon thing, it seems, is trying to possess her now because she says she can feel it entering her body. Ew. So then her mouth starts opening like a marionette, they said, opening and closing. And it said, Holy ones be gone, harm will come to all. What? So they touch their slivers of the true cross. So Ralph has a sliver of the true cross, which they claim is the cross Jesus was crucified on. I don't know how you
Where
get that.
did he get that? Ralph.
eBay. I don't know where you get
snookered. Isn't that one? You got hustled, Ralph.
Yeah.
That ain't the real.
He hangs it above his bed. That's where it lives. Anyway. Okay. And he's telling the demon, get out by the name of Jesus Christ, all this stuff. So he anointed everyone with oil, and they kept reading the prayer, moving along. So that wasn't enough, though, because most of the demons, they said, we're gone. Again, I'm busting through this because I'm reading my notes. She has
groceries to get, people.
And I don't know. I didn't write anything else about how they knew the other demons were gone. But anyway, this last one was super strong, but they had to go. I mean, Ralph's got a family.
They had real jobs, too.
Right. So he's like, well, okay, we did what we could, but we had to go. But before they left them holy water, blessed salt, which I don't know what that was, but apparently it's does the same thing as holy water, but it lasts longer because it's salt, not water. And they were like, don't forget, use the name of Jesus Christ. It will help you. If you feel something coming on, say, get out by the name of Jesus Christ, this stuff. Then they're like, okay, Father Williams is here. He came.
He's going to relieve us. So I just picture them sliding the stuff slowly across the table to them and well, all right, well, it's time for us to
That's
bounce.
literally what happened. So they were like, okay, Father Williams, stay here until Father Hayes can come and do the exorcism. Okay, bye. Father Williams could not do the exorcism himself because he could not get permission from the church, which whatever. But Father Williams did stay with the family and apparently saw a lot of stuff. So cut to several months later. The Villanovas call Ralph and they're like, so it's still happening. The exorcism never happened because Father Hayes got sick. Great. Could you have called ahead of time?
Yeah, could they have called Ed?
Right.
He can do that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why. So Ralph and Joe go back and they end up doing the exorcism with their team. This was interesting to me. They open every closet, every cabinet, every drawer because they don't want to leave any dark space for the demon to be able to hide in. So they flip all those lights on. They open all the windows. They air it out because as they're exorcising it, they want it to get out, not to hide. And this time it works. I wrote, whew.
Yay. It's when you roll your window down, you're trying to get a fly to go out of it. Come on, go away.
Oh my God. So that is the story of the Villanova family. This book is great. I mean, I'm loving it.
We talked forever tonight.
We did. I feel like I have more stories from this. Anyway, okay.
Okay, well,
all right, God bless everyone who just listened to all that.
We just got to go get our groceries, so follow us on social media, share our page, like us, rate it, review, subscribe.
Thank you. You're the best. We love you.
Bye.